Hello, remote learners. We come to the next installment of Jason and the Argonauts, and the story's going to pick up a little bit quicker. So here we go. Let's jump right in. So we left off with the Argonauts having passed through the clashing rocks and being saved by Triton. And they patched the hull of the ship, and now we know that the ship, still fast, still a great ship, but no longer as magical and great as it once was. So the Argonauts are in the Black Sea, and they sail around the Black Sea. They see the Amazons. They see Prometheus being tortured. For those of you who don't know, the Amazons are a nation of warrior women. And Prometheus is a Titan. He's the Titan who actually brought fire to humanity and allowed them to have some technological advances. And so Zeus did not like this, and so now Prometheus is chained to a mountain. And every day an eagle flies, eats his liver, flies away, and then his liver grows back in a day, and the whole process starts over again the next day. So it was kind of gruesome, pretty horrible. Not the way you would want to spend the rest of your life. So they sail around, they see the Amazons, they see Prometheus, and eventually they're caught in a great storm. But once the storm is over, they find themselves on the shores of Colchis. So immediately, once they land in Colchis, the ship is surrounded by the Colchian army. So a bunch of troops surround the ship, and the prince of Colchis, whose name is Prince Absyrtus, that's Apsyrtus, Absyrtus, is the leader of the Colchian army, and he says, "We know who you are, the story of your journey, and the purpose of your journey has reached our shores. We know that you're here for the Golden Fleece, and we're not going to let you take it, so prepare to die." And Jason says, hey, don't I get to do 3 tasks? And Absyrtus says, yeah, technically, but you're going to die doing those anyway, so, I might as well just kill you now. Jason says, well, if I'm going to die anyway, what's the harm in letting me do the 3 tasks? So Absyrtus laughs and he says, okay, I'll take you to my father the king, and he'll decide if we either kill you right now or if you can do the 3 tasks. So the troops surrounding the ship let Jason pass, and Absyrtus takes him to the palace. Now all the other Argonauts remain on the ship, so Jason is on his own. And because Jason is on his own, Hera likes Jason a lot and wants to help him. Hera comes up with a plan. She says, this is not going well for Jason. I need to come up with a way to help him do these 3 tasks. So she goes to Aphrodite, and she says, Aphrodite, I'm going to need you to help me out. Aphrodite says, yes, of course, you're the queen of the gods. I kind of have to do what you say. And Aphrodite suggests that they make Medea. Medea is the daughter of King Aeetes and the sister of Absyrtus. So they want to make Princess Medea fall in love with Jason so that she can help him do the 3 tasks. Now, Medea can help Jason do the 3 tasks because Medea has magical powers. She's kind of a witch. She's really the priestess of Hecate, and Hecate is the Greek goddess of magic. But Medea's not really a bad witch. She kind of just has magical powers and does things. So Aphrodite makes Cupid, or Eros in the Greek, go down and shoot a love arrow in Medea's heart as soon as Jason enters the palace and she sees him. So Medea falls madly in love with Jason, and then King Aeetes is, when he's deciding on whether or not Jason can do the 3 tasks, Medea says, let him do the 3 tasks. It'll be entertaining for the people to watch him try to do the tasks. And King Aeetes says, you know what, you're right, Medea. That's very smart. I'll let him do the tasks. So King Aeetes says, yes, Jason, you can do the tasks, but you're going to have to spend the night in the dungeon because we'll start the tasks tomorrow. So Jason says, okay, I don't really want to spend the night in the dungeon, but if that means I can get the Golden Fleece, then I will do it. So Jason spends the night in the dungeon. And in the middle of the night, Medea goes to Jason and says, psst, Jason, wake up, wake up. So Jason wakes up, and Medea says, oh my goodness, you're so handsome. I love you so much. You're amazing. You are so cool. I can't believe you came to our kingdom. You are amazing. I love you. 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 And Jason says, whoa, slow down. Medea says, sorry. I just love you so much. You're amazing. Oh my gosh, you're so cool. Oh my goodness, you are so awesome. And Jason says, okay, calm down. Medea says, I'm so sorry. Can I please help you do the 3 tasks because I love you so much? And Jason says, whoa, you can help me. I like this idea. How are you going to help me? And Medea says, first, before I help you, I love you so much, Jason, just wanted to let you know, you're going to have to promise me 2 things. And Jason says, sure. What 2 things? Medea says, you're going to have to promise me that you will marry me and take me back to Greece with you. And Jason says, yeah, why not? I can promise that. And so he promises Medea that he will marry her and that he will take her back with him to Greece. Medea's so happy. She's like, oh my goodness, yes, I will definitely marry you. I can't believe you asked. You are amazing and wonderful, and I'm so excited that we are going to live a long and happy life together. And Jason says, okay. How are you going to help me? And Medea says, I just so happen to have a magical ointment that will keep you safe from fire. So it's a fireproof ointment. And of course, the first task is to yoke fire-breathing bulls. Fire-breathing bulls. Yoke just means to put a harness around them so he is able to plow a field with them. So Jason says that's great. And Medea gives Jason the ointment and leaves. The next day, Jason puts the ointment on, goes out to the field, all the people watch, and the 2 fire-breathing bulls come out to the field and they attack Jason. Everybody thinks he's about to be burnt to a crisp, but he's not, and he actually manages to put the harness on them. Once he's put the harness on them, he plows the field. That was the first task. He had to yoke fire-breathing bulls and then plow a field with them. Jason asks what the second task is, and of course King Aeetes says, you must now plant dragon's teeth in the field. Jason says, whoa, but King Aeetes says, that'll have to wait until tomorrow. You're going to have to spend one more night in the dungeon. Jason says, okay, fine, I'd really like to get this over with, but okay. So Medea comes to him that night and says, you did so great. Oh my goodness, you are so awesome. I'm so lucky that I'm going to be marrying you. And Jason says, okay. Can you help me with this task? And Medea says, oh, yes, of course. So when you plant the dragon's teeth, what happens is skeleton warriors are going to jump out of the ground. That's what happens when you plant dragon's teeth. And Jason says, okay. And then Medea says, you know, they actually can't be killed by anything other than themselves. And Jason says, then how am I supposed to beat them? And Medea says, it's actually really, really, really easy. All you have to do is throw a rock in the middle of the warriors. It'll hit one of them. They won't know who hit who, and then they'll all end up killing each other. Jason says, is it really that easy? And Medea says, yeah, it's really that easy. So the next day, Jason plants the dragon teeth, and the skeleton warriors pop up. He picks up a rock, throws it in the middle of them, and they all kill each other. And at this point, King Aeetes is like, maybe, I shouldn't have let him do the 3 tasks. He's done task number 1 and 2 pretty easily. I don't want to take my chances with him completing task number 3, so I guess I'll have to kill him tonight. Medea hears this, and of course, King Aeetes makes Jason spend one more night in the dungeon and plans on killing him that night. Medea runs to Jason's dungeon cell, and she says, Jason, please promise me one more time that you will marry me and that you will take me back with you to Greece. And Jason says, yes. What's the 3rd task? Medea says, well, the 3rd task is you have to kill a never-sleeping dragon. This dragon is wrapped around the tree on which the golden fleece hangs. And Jason says, oh, is that all? Is that all I have to do? And Medea says, yeah, but I know the secret of how to get the dragon to sleep. Jason says, great. Please tell me. And Medea says, well, I can't tell you. We actually have to leave because my father is coming to kill you any minute. And Jason says, well, why didn't you lead with that? Why didn't you tell me that in the first place? Medea says, I'm so sorry. Let's go. So she breaks him out of the cell, and they escape the palace. Now that they're out of the dungeon, Jason asks, okay, so what do I have to do to kill the dragon? And Medea says, it's really simple. The dragon that never sleeps, it's more like the dragon that only sleeps if you do a certain thing. Jason says, oh, what do I have to do? And Medea says, you have to play music. This is just like Fluffy from the first Harry Potter book. All you have to do is play music. And Jason says, wow, that easy, huh? Medea says, yeah, that easy. And Jason says, I just so happen to have the greatest musician on board my ship. So Medea says, excellent, let's go get him. So Medea casts a spell and makes all the soldiers guarding the Argo fall asleep. Then they get Orpheus and they take him to where the golden fleece is hanging. They see the dragon. He's big, he's scary, but Orpheus starts to sing and play his lyre, and the dragon falls asleep. Then Medea cuts off the dragon's head, and Jason is able to get the golden fleece off the tree. And they run back to the Argo, and they set sail. Now, while this was all happening, King Aeetes went down to the dungeon with the executioner to make sure Jason would die. When he found that he was not there, he searched for Medea, found that she was not there, and rightly guessed that she had fallen in love with him and had helped him escape. Now they also noticed when Jason took the golden fleece off the tree that everything went back to the way before the golden fleece was put on the tree. So Colchis is no longer a paradise, but just a regular place. And so King Aeetes sends King Absyrtus with the navy after Jason and the Argonauts. Now, remember that the Argo is no longer the fastest ship in the world. It had to be patched up by regular wood and stuff. And so the Culcan fleet is gaining on the Argo. And Medea comes up with a plan. She says, if you slow down, you see that first ship, the one that's way ahead of all the others? that's my brother Absyrtus's ship, and maybe I can talk some sense into him. The Argonauts say, okay. You helped Jason a lot. We'll trust you. And so Medea calls out, the Argo slows down, and then Medea calls out and says, Absyrtus, brother, come aboard the Argo and we can talk. And Absyrtus says, do you think I'm stupid? The Argonauts will kill me the second I step on board. And Medea says, no, all the Argonauts have promised that they won't harm you. And Absyrtus says, they promise? Medea says, yeah, they promise. And so Absyrtus comes aboard, and then Medea cuts up her own brother into 100 pieces and throws all the pieces into the ocean. Now, I forgot to mention that there are 100 ships in the Culcan fleet, in the Culcan navy. So all 100 ships have to stop and pick up a piece of the prince. And that's how the Argo escapes the Culcan navy. Now, this is not a good thing. This is not a nice thing. This is really, really bad, especially bad in the ancient world. If you kill a family member, you're considered to be cursed by the gods. And all the Argonauts, including Jason, are now very disturbed by and scared of Medea. And of course, because she killed her brother, the gods now curse the Argonauts, and Medea. And they run into lots of different monsters. They run into the sirens, but Orpheus sings louder than the sirens do, and they escape. They run into a giant bronze human, not really human, bronze giant, a giant made of bronze, named Talos, who kills some of the Argonauts, but eventually Jason stabs the one non-bronze base on his body, and then Talos dies. They run into Scylla and Charybdis, like Odysseus. And they choose Charybdis instead of Scylla, and the whirlpool shoots them out in the open ocean. Then Jason prays to Hera and says, why are we cursed? We're meeting so many monsters. We can't do this anymore. We can't take it. Hera appears on the ship and says, because of Medea's great sin, you're cursed. And the only way to be forgiven in the ancient Greek world for murdering one of your family members is to be forgiven by another one of your family members. And so Hera says there's one family member Medea has that might forgive her, and that is the witch Circe. So Jason and the Argonauts go to Circe's island, and Circe actually forgives them. And Circe also marries Jason and Medea. And so the gods no longer curse the Argo. The Argo sets sail again for Greece, and they finally return home. When they land in Greece, the Argonauts say their goodbyes. They promise to always keep in touch and remember the journey they had together. And then they all leave, and Jason takes Medea and the Golden Fleece back to Iolcus. Now, next time, we'll talk about the return of Jason to Iolcus and everything that happens there. And we will finally finish. Your quiz will be on Friday of this week. It'll be on Friday of this week. Good luck. Hope you've taken lots of notes. Go back and listen to these stories just to keep them fresh in your mind. I hope you've had a wonderful time going through the myth. I know it's not really Latin, but I enjoy doing a little break in the grammar, letting you guys kind of relax and enjoy a story that I think is fun and interesting. So we'll finish next time. Have a good rest of your evening.